Who doesn't like non-stop football with no breaks in between game weeks? FPL content creators, that's who. Hello there, hope you're having a great Sunday. What is up, guys, and welcome to FPL Today and the FPL Gameweek 16 Team Selection video, where we go over my planned moves for Gameweek 16, as well as look back at how I did over Gameweek 15, at least the half of it that has been played, and hopefully that will help you with your FPL journey and that rise in rank that you're hoping for. So if you're a fan of this series and you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, it really does help me out. Hit that like and hit that notification bell for FPL, and let's get straight into the video. So we start off with a quick recap of how my Saturday went for Game Week 15, because of course there's no break between game weeks, so I need to get this video out at some point, and we're going to quickly go over the 6 players I had that featured in Game Week 15. We start off with the big performers, and that is Martinez from Aston Villa, picking up another clean sheet despite the fact that Aston Villa were down to 10 men against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace just couldn't beat Martinez to get anything on the board, and Martinez comes in with 10 points in total. He's been a pretty rock solid and consistent player for me, and I can't imagine him going anywhere apart from the fact that he doesn't have that double game week, which is a bit of an issue, but probably won't get rid of him just because of that. And then we also have Bruno Fernandes getting 12 points in the game against Leicester City. Now, as soon as Edison Cavani came on, Bruno Fernandes got more points, and now Edison Cavani could be back. I'm hopeful for big returns from Bruno Fernandes, and he has been a very consistent player with 2 very good returns in the last 2 game weeks, so very happy with him. We'll see if I wish I'd captained him at the end of Sunday, but those were the stand-up performances, getting me 22 points in total. However, the unfortunate thing is I did take a -4 this game week, which you will see in a second, so that is of course reduced to 18. As for the rest of the players that featured, we didn't get anything significant from any of them. Calvert-Lewin only getting 1 point, Adams having an assist chalked off because of offside, only getting 2 points. De Bruyne being a bit disappointing in a victory for Man City where he only gets 3 points, and Grealish doing the usual Grealish things of creating loads of chances for his teammates and none of them getting put away, which is really unfortunate for me. If Grealish was in a better side, I feel like he'd have a lot more points than he has, and Watkins seemed to be determined not to put away any of the chances Grealish created for him, and instead assisting. So anyone that had Watkins, congratulations to you. FPL Focus, I'm looking at you, lad. So you're welcome for entering the fan team competition free roll and getting off to a flying start. And then we have the players that haven't yet played, and we have a full back line of Robertson, who came in for Chilwell with West Bromwich Albion at home, hopeful for a clean sheet, and an assist would be nice as well, Mr. Robertson. And then we've got Aaron Cresswell with Brighton Hove Albion at home, and Dallas with Burnley at home, hopeful for returns from all 3 of these, and that would definitely help my game week to end in a green arrow. We also have Bamford against Burnley at home, so hopeful for some returns here. Let's not have a repeat of that Newcastle game where there's lots of goals and Bamford's only involved with 1 of them. And then we have Salah as our captain with West Brom at home as well, but according to all the sites I've looked at, a lot of people around me will have captained Salah, so I'm not sure it's going to make a huge difference what Salah does in this game week, but you know what, it would still be nice for a cheeky hat-trick. And then we look at the bench where you can see my other 2 transfers which did end up in the -4, and that is Anguissa and Robinson. Anguissa only getting 2 points on the bench, but Robinson actually getting a clean sheet. Now, was I ever going to play Robinson over Robertson, Cresswell or Dallas? Very unlikely. We also have Taylor there with Leeds away, but it is just my luck to pick a player like Robinson and he gets a clean sheet his first time of asking in my side. But he's there because he's cheap, and Kilman just wasn't playing, was he? So Kilman had to go. That means at the end of Saturday, I ended with 26 points in total, 30 -4, and the game week average is 24. Overall points now up to 887, and my overall rank has dropped to 293,723rd. However, we're hopeful for a good Sunday to see a nice green arrow. So we now go to players at risk, and this is where we look at players that I'm thinking of moving on from my side, either because of the fixtures or because of their form, and we're looking at Kevin De Bruyne, who does have Everton away in the next fixture. Now, the problem with Kevin De Bruyne is returns really aren't good enough for the price I'm paying for him, especially when there's the likes of Son out there. We also have the issue of Man City actually scoring goals now, but he's not always involved. And if he's not always involved at that price, there's much better options out there like Bruno Fernandes and Mohamed Salah. They also do not have a double game week 19 as of the time of recording this, so he's someone that I could move on, bring in if I use my free hit on game week 18 just for that game week, and then carry on playing the game without him. And he's very easy for me to move to any other midfielder in the game other than the likes of Aubameyang and Mane in my actual starting 11. So Kevin De Bruyne, the returns just haven't been good enough. It looks like he's due a drop in price tonight as well. So Kevin De Bruyne is a very likely transfer out at this stage in the season, although I may be potentially looking for ways back into that Man City side after the double game week. So before we move on to my Game Week 16 team selection, if you want access to the same stats that we use here on FPL Today, please check out top link in the description, Fantasy Football Hub. All the data on FPL Today is taken from the Fantasy Football Hub, with tools such as player comparison to choose the best players out of 2 options, Opta-Stats tables to see who could be hitting form soon and who will be amongst the goals, and a fixture ticker so you know who has not just the form but also the fixtures to match, and so much more like articles and coverage of other fantasy football games. Ask yourself why you haven't joined the Fantasy Football Hub. It's just £2 a month to unlock your FPL potential. So guys, top link in the description if you want to check them out. It does help out the channel as well if you sign up using that link, and let's get on into the team selection video. So we start off as always with the goalkeepers and defenders, and we're starting off with Martinez in goal. It is against Chelsea and it is away, so there's a little bit of concern here that Martinez might not return the points in this one. However, Martinez has been such a loyal and consistent performer that, you know what, he's not going anywhere. We just accept it that every now and again he's not going to get those clean sheets, but he has been performing very well, as has McCarthy if you've stuck with McCarthy from Southampton. We then move on to Cresswell with Southampton away, Robertson with Newcastle away, and Dallas with West Brom away. Again, nice fixtures there. Cresswell maybe not too confident in a clean sheet against Southampton, but Robertson with Newcastle and Dallas with West Brom, even though they're both away games, we hope there's some clean sheet points in that, and also some attacking returns from 2 very attacking defenders in the Premier League. We then move on to the midfield, and we have Kevin De Bruyne with Everton away, the player at risk. Fernandes with Wolves at home. Fernandes does usually tend to do better away than he does at home, but Fernandes has been on fire, so we're not going to get rid of him. Salah most likely our captain for 2 game weeks in a row with Newcastle away next, and then Grealish with Chelsea away, just like Mr. Martinez. Now we're hopeful for a big return 2 weeks in a row for Salah, so I don't really see anyone else taking the captaincy armband from him in this game week. Fernandes versus Wolves could be a consideration, but Salah definitely looks like the best fixture there, even if it is an away game. And then moving on to the forwards, and we have Bamford with West Brom away, Calvert-Lewin with Man City at home, so he could be another person I think of transferring, as he also doesn't have a double game week in 19, and then Adams with West Ham at home. Now, hopeful again for points from the strikers, hasn't gone too well so far this game week, but Calvert-Lewin is also a player at risk with that Man City at home fixture, and also the fact that potentially we could be looking for a bit more of an expensive striker going into double game week 19. And then on the bench we have Steer versus Chelsea, not that that matters, he's never going to play with Martinez between the sticks. Taylor versus Sheffield United and Guisa, and Robinson versus Tottenham away. Now Taylor against Sheffield United at home could somehow squeeze his way into this side, maybe over Cresswell, and it does depend who I transfer out for the likes of De Bruyne and Calvert-Lewin, whether Taylor does feature in this game week. And finally, we move on to the potential transfers for this game week. And last game week, I know I said Souček was the most likely transfer, and then I went and did a -4 and brought in Robertson, Anguissa and Robinson. So apologies, but the potential transfers isn't always going to be the move I make. It's just a move I'm leaning towards at the time of recording. And the move I'm leaning towards at the time of recording this video is Heung-min Son in for Kevin De Bruyne at 9.7 million. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in the last 6 game weeks, with 5 shots on goal, 3 on target, 4 from inside the box, 2 big chances and expected goals at 1.13, with 8 key passes, 2 big chances created and expected assists at 1.22. Now, the underlying stats aren't amazing. There's players out there with better underlying stats. However, Son is just so lethal in front of goal right now, and his Spurs score, it's likely to be Son or Kane. And also, they've had some very tough fixtures, so those underlying stats I only imagine are going to improve as Tottenham try to get the best league position they could possibly get this season. So very eager to get Son into the side. He also doesn't have a double game week, but he does have Fulham and then West Brom in the next 2 fixtures, and just looks like a must-own player for those 2 fixtures right now. And if I could probably squeeze Kane in, I would do that as well, but that doesn't look likely for this Fulham fixture. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video, so hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and check out Fantasy Football Hub, top link in the description. If I don't make another video before New Year's, but hopefully I will, have a great New Year's Eve. I know it's going to be a weird one compared to what we usually do on New Year's Eve, with Tier 4 lockdown currently in practice across a lot of the UK. But let's make the most of it. Let's do what we can and make sure to call all the loved ones that you have and wish them a happy New Year's. And hopefully 2021 is just a little bit different. With that being said, I've been JNO. This has been FPL Today. And remember, it's all about the game.